back to my channel, and if you are new then a big huge welcome to you, and if you are new then my name is Cez and I am an autistic and epileptic creator, and I upload videos every Wednesday and Friday. In today's video I'm going to be talking about theme parks, and this has been highly requested on Twitter, and I was thinking about doing this video for some time, but I really wasn't too sure because I debated about doing another video at the same time, and I decided to take a poll, and this was the one that came up on top. And because most of my friends who follow me on the channel are huge fans of theme parks or have theme park channels, I thought it would just make sense if I just sit down and talk about my own experiences of theme parks. And I don't have one where I am because I live sort of in the middle of nowhere, and there's no theme park nearby that I can actually go to, which sucks. So instead of me going to a theme park, I just thought just talking about it would be the real deal. As long as I can remember, I've always been to lots and lots of theme parks, and even though I've only been to 3 theme parks, which are Chessington World of Adventures, Thorpe Park, which are both in England, and Walt Disney World in Florida, I haven't really gone to a lot of theme parks either in England or abroad, and one of the main reasons why is that my family's not too keen on theme parks, and I can really understand why in their perspective, but also in my case it can actually be really tricky, especially when it comes to my autism, but mostly my epilepsy. Before I was diagnosed with epilepsy, I didn't mind going to theme parks, but I know they were the occasional thing, and it does suck really in one way because I know there's so many things that you can do at a theme park. But one of the biggest barriers for me with theme parks, well, there's so many of them, but the first barrier that I really want to talk about is the transport. And I'm not an independent traveller, but I only travel on buses because I've only just started. I've never ridden on a train by myself, or I don't know how to drive because I have never learned how to. Another big thing for me is the crowds, and most people on the autistic spectrum, they can't really deal with crowds quite a lot. But it's not just crowds, sometimes the attractions and the noises can be really tricky, and with theme parks, everything happens all over the place. Some things are about to happen. I really don't know how to explain this in another autistic point of view, but in my case, I've always been alright with the attractions because most of them I've seen, they don't have any bright lights or flashes, but if there are some of them that do, then I try to avoid them as much as I can, but it's mainly because of my epilepsy. But the one time that I try to avoid huge crowds at the latest is during the public holidays, the bank holidays, and half term. With theme parks there's a lot of pushing and shoving, and there's screaming where people ride on roller coasters and swings, but sometimes the noises can actually be a bit too much, especially with the younger children. And when I tend to hear things, I actually try to get nearer to the people who are with me, or I try to block it out. I get a little bit worried, but you won't actually see me because I tend to mask it. And bringing it back to the point of attractions, I know I have said that I'm okay with some attractions, but there are a few that I'm not okay with, and the attractions that I tend to avoid completely are roller coasters, especially if there are ones that go upside down. When I was on a school leavers trip, a few of my peers actually asked me if I want to go on a roller coaster, and I said, oh no, and they would say, I dare you to do it. And I know daring someone to do it isn't really nice, but I accepted the dare. But I actually quite enjoyed it just for a little bit. And I was only 16 when I actually went on my very first roller coaster. So the very first roller coaster I went on was the Nemesis in Theero. And that was the one that just actually went fast, and they actually did the loop for loops. And there was the second roller coaster that I went to, and I don't know if it's there anymore, but there was a roller coaster called No Way Out, which was the first backwards roller coaster in the dark. I went on Nemesis a few more times afterwards, but I think the last time that I went was before I was diagnosed with epilepsy, and ever since I have been avoiding roller coasters. There were other attractions that I used to avoid, but now I really love them to bits, and that was the water rides. But the only water rides that I really cannot go on because I know it's very steep, that ride is Splash Mountain at Walt Disney World. When I went there last year, I took one look at it and I said, no, I'm not doing Splash Mountain. But the one water ride that I really loved the most was the Bubble Bath ride at Chessington World of Adventures. But unfortunately, that's extinct. After talking about it and thinking about it before I was filming, something occurred to me. And that occurrence is that I wish that theme parks were more autistic friendly. And I don't know if there'll be any events happening that time soon, but if there are theme parks who would happily organise an autistic friendly event for theme park fans, then that would be spectacular. I would really love to see that happen. I think with Disney they sort of do that, but I'm not entirely sure. But it would be great if that was to happen, really. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but my guess, I'm not. And that's all I can really say, to be honest, because I think I've actually covered everything. So I'm going to be drawing this video to a close. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I've started to realise my throat is actually going, so I'm going to have to go downstairs and just get a drink ASAP. So until then, I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and until then, keep on dreaming and never stop believing. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye!